next pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select.
That's So Dolphins Talk with John Baker and Trigga Trey Proctor.
Let me check your pulse if you're not fired up.
Dude, are we good?
Dude, we're the best team in the league.
If you don't have eye black at home, you better go get some eye black.
Put him on the Uber and get him at.
Hello and welcome into another edition of That's So Dolphins Talk. Got myself, John Baker, and the co-pilot, Trigga Trey Proctor. And another loss. This one definitely hurts. But I feel like I am in the minority on this. I'm not looking at it as a moral victory, not for 1 second. However, I'm not as devastated as what a lot of Finn fans are, especially yourself. You are absolutely devied right now.
My heart, dude. I'm over here stress eating sticky buns right now.
I'm not. I. That's what I was expecting it to be, a really close game. We'd lose by the 3 points. That's 100% what I expected. And last week is not what I expected. And that's what pisses me off the most, is that we shouldn't be dropping stupid ass games to the Chargers. We should have just won last week. And this loss wouldn't feel as bad as what it did. But that's a hell of a way to bounce back. They absolutely bounced back. The offense played really well. I mean, there was some questionable play calling where we just
A lot of drops.
So many drops. And yes, it's cold. The ball is a little bit harder. I totally understand that. But like, we abandoned the run on 3rd and short. And again, we're looking at this again, consecutive weeks, saying, why did we abandon the run again, especially in 3rd and short? We ran the ball so well last night. It makes no sense why we didn't continue to run the ball. But I'm looking at this as not worst case. Before the Jets lost today, I still felt pretty good about last night because the defense, I still think the defense showed up. A lot of people don't think that. I think the defense showed up.
I think that overall the defense played well, but I think like keep them under the 30 mark is ideal, right? But I feel like this team, when big moments happen, like they're not making the big moment plays. Like when we need a big momentum stop or we need a big momentum turnover, we're not getting that, right? So it just feels like the defense is letting us down all the time because in those big moments they've failed.
Yeah, and I guess the one thing that's incredibly frustrating, at least from my standpoint, is that the last 2 games were completely decided by the refs, which really sucks. And like a lot of people can say, like, well, I mean, especially myself, I'm one of those people. Well, don't put yourself in that position where you have to let the refs decide. But I agree that I agree that last night that Kohu pass interference at the end was the backbreaker of the game. While it was pass interference, there's clearly video evidence where the judge that threw the flag called defensive holding, and then they changed it to pass interference. So like that's the difference between just a regular 5-yard penalty and now a 15-yard penalty. So like that, I don't understand how that got changed. What the officiating the last 2 weeks has been absolutely absurd, because Tyreek on that 3rd down
got tackled
before the ball's even there. And
it happened to Jalen Waddle twice.
Yeah, it's literally right in front of the refs, and they don't call it at all. Like I'm so like this. It's really frustrating that the refs have taken the game out of the players' hands.
Yeah,
and that's one thing that is incredibly irritating. But the Tua played really well. The offense. I thought the offense played really well. Like we ran the ball finally for once. Like Mostert ran with purpose. I don't know what crawled into Mostert's ass, but like he ran the ball hard. Like I don't understand why he didn't run the ball like that all year long.
Yeah,
he was just on another level last night.
Yeah, that was the best game he's played as the Dolphin for sure.
I if we're looking at previous week, I completely think that they overlooked the Chargers to get to the Bills because they absolutely thought that they were just going to walk in last weekend and just beat the Chargers on pure talent, and they absolutely got exposed. And
Yeah.
that's all on a young coaching staff. It's not worst case though. I expected the loss. You expected a blowout. Then you got sucked in, and then
we talk about this all the time. Why?
This is partly my fault because you were so negative on the Finns all day. You're like, I don't care. They're getting blowed out. I kept sending stuff all day long. You don't care. Getting blowed at. I don't care. And I'm like over here fighting the good fight. And then I end up somehow turning your mind. And then you were absolutely heartbroken at the end. And I was just like, okay, so remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about like going back and watching those old like 90s like Finn games with Marino and all that?
Yeah.
So like of the games that I have watched sometimes, that game last night was 1000% 90s Dolphins football. Like they're 8-6, they're 8-5 in December. They go to Buffalo or somewhere like that, and then they lose a game exactly like that. Like that's what it was. And I watched those games. I was like, damn. Like I feel like this. Like I felt like those teams were much better than that, and we're like literally the same exact teams what we were in the 90s, which is much better than what we've been for the last 20. So I guess that's something to look at too.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, that's a good point. I just, winning out feels like we have, even though we don't have to win out.
Correct.
Feels like if we went out and we play the AFC North champion, which will probably be the Bengals, like we're gonna win.
Going to Cincy, I don't feel bad going into Cincy. We played Cincy very well until the whole concussion thing happened.
Yeah,
and we were still close in that game, even without him.
Right.
So, I mean, now Cincy's gotten a lot better, but I think we've gotten a lot better too. And another thing to keep into perspective for Dolphins fans is that you just played the Bills 2 games, and the total score has been 51-50.
Yeah,
now, a lot of people are sitting there saying that like this gap between the Dolphins and the Bills like is enormous. Is not. Like it's not that different. Like if you would now, like yes, every team is missing players, but we matched them very well. And I think that if I think a best case scenario for this team is to worst case lose next weekend, but you beat the Pats and you beat the Jets. You're going back to Buffalo for the wild card game.
Right.
That feels like best case scenario for this team.
Yeah, but or does it feel like amazing scenario? We win out. We then play the Bengals.
Well, that feels great too.
Then the Buffalo Bills.
Then you play. Would we play Buffalo or would we play Kansas City?
I would think Buffalo.
We'd be the lower seed, so we would play the higher. Or no, it could be somebody lower than us. It depends on how the seeding comes out. We could still, huh?
You heard music playing?
No.
Oh, my dude, Siri just accepted when I said play the Bengals. It actually played a song called The Bungles. Dude, they're always listening.
Oh, Siri has been going off on my watch all week long. Like I've just been at work and I say something and it's like, I cannot find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's been happening all week. So as we're sitting here too, the Pats are losing to the Raiders. The Raiders could Raider out and they could lose that game, but the Jets losing today helps us enormously. If the Pats lose that, it's even better. That just gives us even a little bit more. But basically, you control your own destiny. You got to beat your 2 division rivals, and you can, in a worst case scenario, lose next weekend on Christmas to Aaron Rodgers. I have no idea how the Packers are playing, but I just feel like they cannot lose. They cannot lose another game to get to the
No,
playoffs.
no, I just think we got to carry to have any momentum in a playoff series. Like we got to carry.
I think that
Uh,
everyone's kind of like woken up a little bit too, because I think last night everyone got the mo back that we needed. Because
yeah,
last night we played like the team that we've seen all year. The San Francisco and Chargers deal, I, I don't understand what those two games were, but they are like the outliers of the season for me. Like,
yeah, I would agree. It felt like a complete like when two has been in, it felt like a completely different team.
right.
Um, like, but yeah, those two games felt like just a Jacoby Brissett game or something like that. So it it felt again. There's no moral victories, but it did make me a little bit happier to see the offense perform again. Um, I think we've been close. I mean, I, I feel pretty confident going into the Green Bay game. I really do.
Uh,
Getting back home.
yeah, this team needs a home game like in the worst way. And
Yeah.
this like Patriots offense is not, I mean, they're not very good. Our defense isn't that great either sometimes. I don't know. There's a very strong narrative out there to fire Boyer. And I don't know. I
Well,
I don't know. I just feel like I'm not on that train like anymore. Because I'm looking at this team when they have everybody back, like what the defense looks like when they get Nick Needham back, when they get Brandon Jones back, when we get like we're gonna get we are absolutely not bringing Byron Jones back. We're signing somebody else. Like when we get Mackenzie Alexander back, we haven't even seen Mackenzie Alexander do one snap other than like in like summer practice, like
right.
training camp. But like they're gonna get ultra aggressive to stay with the Bills. Like think about what if we put last year's defense with this year's offense.
Oh yeah.
Like that made that like that is what we're looking for. That's what we should have been this year, but injuries like completely destroyed us. And then think about next year, like we're gonna have like probably most likely we're probably gonna have better line, hopefully. Like I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think firing Boyer is the answer. Because this team has already built the identity of running press man. Who's a better candidate to bring in to run press man? Because he just can't change the personnel. Am I wrong?
Right.
Or I
No,
mean,
you're right.
the team is already built to play press man. You can't change that midway through now to like run like a zone scheme or you can you're kind of
No,
you're kind of married to it.
I know. I agree. It's not so much that I don't. I think he's scheming things up. You know, okay on the defensive side of the ball, but like it's the 3rd and 17s where we give up 15 and they gives them an opportunity to go for it and shit like that
Yeah,
irritates me. It's
I
like
think
the situational stuff he's just awful at.
I think the personnel grouping is rough too. Like they are hell bent on putting Duke Riley out there in passing situations, and Duke Riley is lost 87% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm probably could put myself in a better position than Duke Riley does.
Again, you're at least gonna have someone have to run around you.
Yeah, like he's never in the right position. Now I'm not, I have been a very vocal hater or of Landon Roberts the last couple weeks and Jerome Baker. I kind of like Landon Roberts. He's a smidge slow. Not even
So you're
smidge.
back
He is.
on him now.
He's downright slow. But I don't know. I think that there is a better option at middle linebacker than Jerome Baker. And I have no idea where he's at on his deal. He's got to be what, year 2 or 3 of his deal. So like
Yeah.
he could be gone. And this team 1000% they ain't keeping Jaceki. And if they do, oh buddy, are we gonna have an emergency pod if they re-sign Jaceki?
Dad, Dad and I got in an argument last night about Jaceki
Was he? Was he? He was 1,000%. He was defending Gesicki.
Oh, buddy, after the game, they showed Gesicki hugging someone from the Bills, and
I dare him to go there. I dare it.
Dad said, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, go ahead, Gesicki. Sign with Buffalo, where they'll actually know how to use you." I said, "Dad." He literally had one man to beat, and he was running alone. Travis Kelce breaks that tackle and scores. Gesicki gets tripped up by literally a crust of the paint flakes off the field. Like
any tight end, like he can't block anybody either. I can block somebody better than he can, and I have zero technique on blocking.
Yes,
he just. I mean, considering the fact that it's been 3 games and he's had 1 catch, like. Even Tua doesn't want to throw it to him. Like, am I wrong? Like, to someone tell me I'm wrong. Because if Tua ain't throwing to him, what? Like, clearly he's going to get it to people that he wants to catch to. Like, he's not just out there clearly he's forcing it to Tyreek all the time. And so I got another little thing that I saw too. Tyreek had posted a thing like, I'll never play like I did last night ever again.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That got me a little butterfly. That got me butterflies.
That did give me a little. That got me a little chilota for sure.
I just don't. Last night there's more positives to take away than there are negatives. They responded. They cleaned up a lot of things. They ran the ball. Now the play calling. The third and short play call decisions are. Early in the season, he was crisp. Now I think he's trying to get too cute with like these little outs and everything like that. Run the damn ball. Like just line it up and just run it. Like,
yeah,
they already know it's like the defenses already know we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot, basically. And that's it's so obvious what we're gonna do. And if we're in a 3rd and long, I mean, I feel more confident in 3rd and 8 than I do in 3rd and 1. What sense does that make? When it's 3rd and 8,
it makes absolutely no sense.
When it's 3rd and 8, we're for sure throwing it, and I feel incredibly good about it. When it's 3rd and 1, I feel sick to my stomach because I don't know what it's going to be. But I don't know. I'm just not quite as scorched earth as what Twitter likes to be on this
buddy
subject.
I don't know how to feel. They're playing with my emotions. Yesterday I was going to be the mountain. I was going to allow all the weather to be around me, and I was going to stand solid, and I was going to eat the rain and the snow and the ice and the hail, and I was going to be the same level-headed emotional person, and I was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm grittying, and then
you turned into cocky Finn fan.
I'm turning dude, literally tackling people, celebrating. And they sucked me in. And then it's just
I knew we were in danger when they gave them the 2-point conversion and they tied it up. And then as soon as those flurries start rolling in and it turned into heavy snow, I was like, oh fuck, this ain't good. We just needed to stop. And everybody out there that is just scorching earth on Bradley Chubb, let's remember. Let's take a second and think about, they don't have Emmanuel Ogbah anymore, and think about who is eating right now because of the fact that we have Bradley Chubb. Jalen Phillips is unstoppable because Bradley Chubb. They're gonna have they put Bradley Chubb over on the far side where they have to actually account for a threat. And then they have to, they can't cover everybody. So that makes Jalen Phillips look incredible, which he is really good. But like the addition of Bradley Chubb, he hasn't done anything spectacular, but like it's the things that you don't see on the stat sheet that he's doing that makes the defense, it's made the defense better, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If you look on Twitter, that's what everyone says. Bradley Chubb was a complete waste and they were a Super Bowl contender, but that's something that the media put in your mind that they were a Super Bowl contender.
Right.
I never for once thought this team was a Super Bowl contender. They've been saying all year, this team is a wild card team. That's all they've been. They've been no better. They've been no less. They're a wild card team. It's exactly what they are. So
now, once we get from there, who knows?
Once you get to the dance, anything can happen. But just like to base level, this is a wild card team, and everybody else like was like, "Oh my god, Super Bowl or bust." Like, no. Like, at what point were we a Super Bowl contending team? Just because we made one trade, now we're a Super Bowl contender, and we won 5 games in a row. Like, people just need to pump the brakes on that.
I agree. I hear you.
We've been pretty level-headed as fans, I feel like.
This has probably been the most level-headed I've been
in a long time.
Long time.
But last night hurt, but it didn't hurt me as much as I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to be absolutely like, as soon as I turned off, I didn't want to see the kick. I turned off the kick. I didn't care if they blocked it or whatever, but I just assumed that they made it. And then I turned it back on. They were doing the handshakes, hugs, found me outside and do pancake
drug. Jumping out the candy coated remove G.
I put you to sleep. I put you 6 feet deep. It's in the ground. Blaze a pound. Let my top down. Could play for Washington Redskins. 6 points for a touchdown.
Shout out to Riff Raff, man.
Yeah, shout out Riff Raff. So I have to go over like what you said this. Like I said there in the fourth quarter, this is going to be whoever fucks up first loses. And you said they're going to rip our hearts out. And I said, we're one mistake away from taking control. And then I said, nut the fuck up, get some guts, and burn the fucking boats. Play Peppers. And that was when the Jalen Phillips strip sack happened.
Huge. That's when I thought we were money right there when that happened.
And then if we would have got 7, we would have been. But I just it hurts. And like, listen, like Buffalo was treating that game like their Super Bowl too. So I mean, congrats. Like, you won a division game.
Right.
They feel like they're getting some grand revenge on us just because, you know, we had to play they had to play in 110-degree weather, and like we came up there and played very well in their cold and snow.
We'll see in the playoffs, motherfuckers.
I feel better playing them for a second time.
Oh yeah.
I felt like I had a little bit more here for the show, but it last night hurt and really threw the winds out of my sails, because when we got up 29-21, I was like, like we got something.
Yeah, this is a game of inches, dude.
Yeah, man, that Chargers loss and that the Vikings loss is going to come back to hurt so bad, I think.
It always does. There's
one or two that really hurts. Dude, how about, can we just talk about that Tua dime to Tyreek last night?
Oh my god,
buddy,
bucket.
That dude, he hung it up. He hung the fingers up in the air as it was laying it. Like, I missed the Waddle touchdown.
Oh, buddy, feathered it over top the linebackers and just dropped it, and then Waddle turned on the burners.
Dude, we need to think. This is also a really good thing that we should talk about too. Even with the last 2 weeks being abysmal for this offense, Tua still ranks number 1 in passer rating, TD to interception ratio, TD to pass attempt, yards per attempt, and yards per completion. He's still first in the league in all 5 of those categories. Yards per completion is 13.33 yards.
That's fucking insane.
Yards per attempt is 8.63. Touchdown to attempts is 6.4. Every 6.4% of his, like 6.5% of the time he's throwing a touchdown. And he's got 24 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. That's what we've been waiting on. Imagine what his stats would have been if he would have played 3 games without the concussion. He's still got a passer rating of 107.8.
Unreal.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things that we could be feeling down about, but I just don't think that I don't think that the season's lost or it's over.
Oh no, dude! Especially when I'm predicting it. Put it on the board. Put it on the board.
It's on the board. Oh, big news here. Tampa was winning 17-6, I think. Oh, okay. Oh, Bengals just scored. So it's 17, either 13 or 14.
Okay.
So Tampa we need if you're thinking about seeding and everything, you need the Buccaneers to beat the Bengals because that puts the Ravens ahead of the Bengals in the division. Or no, we want the Bengals to win, not the Buccaneers.
Well, here's the. I mean,
I'm sorry. We want the Bengals to win because we need the Bengals to leapfrog over the Ravens and stay ahead of the Ravens because we own the tiebreaker over the Ravens. And so we would have higher seeding over the Ravens in the wild card. So yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. We need the Bengals to win. Get it on.
Is that what you texted me today? The rooting guide?
Yes, because Chigs threw me off because he needs the Bengals to lose. Because he said in the chat that I need a Bengal. I need vintage Brady back. That threw me off.
Yeah, I got you. What the hell was I saying?
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I know. I completely forget what I was even talking about.
Here's another thing. Jalen Waddle is the only player in Dolphins history with 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to start his career.
I got to get his jersey at this point. Hanging in the man cave.
It's got to go in the Wall of Fame.
Hey, can we talk about freaking Javon Holland in a neck roll?
Was he wearing a neck roll last night, or was it like like one of those collared like
oh no, full-fledged Zach Thomas neck roll on,
buddy?
Yeah, it looks sick because I think he hurt his neck. The only thing I wish he would have done is rolled it up like turtle shell, like rolled the jersey up over the back.
That would have been sick. I didn't know he hurt his neck. We can't if we're dead serious about making this playoffs, we can't have any more injuries on the defensive side. We can't have any more injuries. Period.
No, I agree.
One thing I do really like as well. Why didn't Eric Rowe play last night? He was a scratch. Inactive, I'm sorry. Wrong sport.
Wasn't he got hurt in that last game?
Oh, I thought he was a healthy inactive like he was a couple weeks ago.
He got hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody tweeted, I'm so ready for Vic Fangio to be our new DC. Lord, no.
Maybe.
I don't know. We're gonna make the good thing is that we'll be better. The defense will definitely be better. Patriots are creeping back into this damn game too.
Not ideal.
But still, Tua threw for like 242 and 2 tutties yesterday.
Yeah, good numbies.
So, you are the resident defensive back play specialist here on the Podski. You were a corner yourself. What is happening with Xavier Howard? That he's gone. Mac Jones just got hurt, I think. What has happened with Xavier Howard that over the last 5 years he's been a top 5 corner and he's been maybe a top 20 corner this year? I don't even know if he's been that. Is it age or is it just poor technique, effort? I don't know.
No, it's 100% age. That's the only position in the NFL probably that every single year you need to be, it's like your freshest year ever. So the second you don't have a fresh year, where you're, 100% healthy or even, 95% healthy all the time, your drop off is going to be felt so quickly because, like, think about it. Your whole game plan is reacting off of what another person is doing. You know how strenuous that is on the body and how behind the eight ball you're going to be? You're always going to be one step. You're already one step behind, right? The good players eliminate that one step with their ability, and then it's an even ball game. But what's happening with X is he starts one step behind because naturally a defensive back's always going to be, but because he's just not there physically where he was, he's falling to 2 to 3 steps behind now.
It just makes me nervous. We got to find another.
We got no other options. So
we got to roll. We got to roll with this. We got to roll with this team. I mean, so with the Jets loss as well, our probability went from 65% 70%. So I mean, hey, we're still passing.
We are still passing.
The way that X has played this year has just been that's what you don't want. Like, this feels like it could turn into a Brent Grimes situation very quick. And that makes me nervous because Brent Grimes was really great there for like 2 years and then he fell off a cliff.
Are him and Miko still together?
I don't know. I haven't even heard anything from him in a long time.
I know, and I follow him on Instagram and I just don't see him anywhere. Maybe he just doesn't. Maybe he's private.
Yeah. Dude, the Titans are gonna beat the Chargers, and they're gonna play. The Chargers are gonna play like absolute ass, like we said.
Yeah, good. That's exactly what I want to happen.
That is exactly what we need to happen. We need the Chargers to lose this game to the Titans. This loss might not even affect us that much. If all three of these teams lose today, it might not even hurt us because even the Ravens lost.
Right.
So, like, it was a good week to lose if you're going to lose.
Nope, I agree. I'm already moved on, John. I'm ready to go. You know, I feel like we're back.
Are you back?
I think I'm back.
I'm back. I'm ready to play A-Rod at home.
I know. Last time we played him there, we lost in the last second play.
I am ready. I'm ready to get back to a home game. I'm excited to see a home game. Excited. I'm just excited now. That like this is what we wanted. We came out like we. My heart isn't broken because I fully expected the Dolphins to play that way. This was the first time, because I've been saying all year that this team loses games in ways that I'm not expecting them to lose.
Right.
They lost a game last night how I expected them to lose. So I'm not hurt about that. I'm okay. I got my shield up. I feel good. So, but we will see you probably after a very Merry Christmas and a Dolphins win at home against them Green Bay Packers. Thank God we're not going to Dufferin and Tundra. But all right, you got anything else?
Nope, fins up.
Fins up.